Hello and welcome to the Lorna Marie Fitness Podcast, the show where we talk all things fitness, health, mindset and lifestyle to help you become fitter, healthier and happier. I help busy people who lack time, motivation and self-belief to look and feel great again. If you want to work with me, head over to lornamariefitness.co.uk, but for now, enjoy this episode. Let's go for it. Joe, a very warm welcome to the podcast. It is great to have you here. Now, Meet the Members is all about just getting to know each other better, but also inspiring each other. And like we were just chatting about a minute ago, in our squad, we have people from all walks of lives, super busy people doing different jobs, different fitness levels, different ages, backgrounds, you name it. So I think it's really nice to know each other's stories and be able to inspire each other from them. So on that note, Joe, tell us a little bit about Joe. What do you do? Where are you from? Sounds like blind date now, doesn't it? Go for it.
I feel like I'm on, I've got Scylla here or something. Well, I live in Ayrham, so I live just outside Newark, but I'm originally from Yorkshire. So I moved down to Lincolnshire about 20 years ago, but moved over into Nottinghamshire about 6 years ago. I have my own business. I'm a business consultant, so my main function is HR. I'm a HR professional. Might not always look like it, but I am. And so I help small businesses make sure that they're looking after their people. So they've got all the compliance in place, they've got the policies, procedures, but also that people understand what that's all about, and to make sure that the employee understands what their role is within the business, and that they understand the consequence should their job not work properly. And it just helps the business grow because it helps you grow your people and helps develop them. So that's kind of what I do with small businesses. Got lots of different businesses I help with. Perfume, I've got a perfume manufacturer, I've got special needs transport. So it is varied, but people are people. It doesn't matter where they are or what they do. They all need the same support. So that's what I do by day. And I'm also a utility warehouse partner, so I help people save money with their energy. So it's all, for me, everything I do is all about making sure that people are getting the best that they can get, and that they can be the best that they can be as well when it comes to their working environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's me.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, it sounds like you are super busy. Job by day, job by night, and weekends, I'd imagine. But I take it you enjoy being a busy kind of person anyway. But with you being so busy, how do you manage to fit fitness into your lifestyle? How do you get it in?
Well, I find the on-demand is easy because I can fit that in whenever I need to. But I found it really difficult. I mean, I did used to be a member of a gym when I lived over in Lincoln. But when I moved near Newark, I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't like going to a gym where I didn't know anybody. I messaged one gym and said what's available. I didn't even get a reply. So I thought, well, it's not really my thing. I was always very self-conscious going into a gym because it doesn't come naturally to me. So with 2 March, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And within about 4 or 5 days of that, I was sat in a restaurant flicking through my Facebook, and I saw the Lorna Marie, clicked on it. In fact, I think you rang me, and I was said, I'm sat at my table, just about to have my dinner. And that's when I joined because I found I wanted to get back into doing something regularly. I am rubbish at fitting things in for me because I'm always running around doing something for everybody else. My partner has a record shop, so I'm always helping him out as well. So the online thing, it was literally a spur of the moment, saw it and thought, you know what, do it. And I found it easier to fit things in because I can put the odd 5-10 minutes in. I don't always work at clients' premises. I sometimes work from home. I have my little shed quarters down the garden. So that means I can do stuff during the day. When I come home at night, I'll put the dinner on, and then I can prance around the kitchen for half an hour doing something while the dinner's cooking. So I find it easier to fit it in, and I find I've got less excuses by doing the on demand. And now that does ebb and flow. Sometimes I'm brilliant and I do loads, and other times I don't do it for ages, but it just it fits in with work. So that's what I find the best thing about it. And the community with Lawn and Marie Fitness is completely the gym environment I've ever been in. It's like poles apart. So the fact that I might be on the end of a camera doing some kind of Zoom thing, but I still know people because I've met people and I've done the socials. And I found actually there's a few people that I've known from before I joined you that I know them anyway. So I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago at networking and said, "Oh, you're a Lorna Marie Squaddie as well," because they'd seen that we'd been on the live. So I don't get onto as many lives as I'd like to, but I'm hoping that things are going to slow down a little bit as far as my traveling is concerned. And I'm not doing it in a premiering bedroom like I have done in the past.
Hey, that was great. That was dedication. You did it. You did. You went for it. And it just goes to show that you don't actually need much time, but also much space to do a workout. You can literally do it anywhere. It's so handy, isn't it? So for you, Jo, was that kind of where fitness started for you? Tell us a little bit about your past with fitness.
I've always tried to stay fairly healthy. I've been dairy intolerant for 20 years, so I've always had to find another way of, of eating and finding ways around things. And I am one for, as much as I do fly around all over the place, I do make a point of trying to cook my own dinners, and we don't have a lot of processed food. So I've always been quite good with that. Got a terrible sweet tooth, so that is my Achilles heel. I do like chocolate. Um, and I kind of ebb and flow with fitness. It used to be a chore. It was fun in my 20s when I could run around and do all sorts. But I've always found that I've ended up coming back when I've fell off the wagon and I've not done anything for a while. Find that I need to get back into doing something, because that's, you've got to look after yourself, otherwise life's going to be very dull and short. So I always think that, the more that you can look after yourself and be around and do all the crazy things that you want to do. I'm not one for slowing down. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm another year older. But I think it's just that I tend to do more. Can't run. Can't run to save my life, no matter how fit I am. So I tend to do more dancing, aerobics, fitness classes. I used to do step aerobics, and I've tried all of them. And there's lots of different. I mean, I've even taken up karate. I've even taken up kung fu, which I didn't think I'd be doing at 55, but there you go. But it's just something that I just like doing it, and it gets such a buzz out of doing stuff. All the excuses you've got before you do any fitness, you at the end of it, when you feel fat, you might be tired out and you might ache a bit, but when you feel so much better about everything, you wonder why you were making your excuses. So I do always end up. I like a lot of walking. I love being outside, in nature and things like that. So I've always tried to look after myself the best I can, and fitted in what I can.
Yeah.
Whenever. And probably the more bizarre, I have done some crazy things for charity in the past, and that's, climbing Ben Nevis and running around like an idiot. So I do tend to do daft things like that. And I think you've got to be fit if you want to suddenly decide to throw yourself out of a plane for charity and things like that. So I think it's just important. I think you've got to stop making it a chore and make it fun.
Do something that you enjoy. And you did the challenge with us last year as well, the Yorkshire Three Peaks. And don't you have some exciting news about charity? Something about the Children's Bereavement Centre?
Oh yes, I'm now a trustee on the board, which is it's scary and fun all at the same time. So it's quite an important thing. I've never done anything that important before. But they were wanting to get a couple of new members, and I think they were looking at my HR background, so that's where I'll be helping them out a little bit, and should imagine they'll get me doing something stupid before the end of the year. But I just think it's nice to be able to have a bit of spare time and put it to something useful. So yeah, I was quite excited about that.
Oh, I think you're incredible, Jo. Everything you do, it is literally about bettering people in every single job you do, every hobby, everything you're doing is just all about bettering people. But I'm really pleased that you said, you've got to remember to look after yourself in all of this as well. And you've got to remember to fill your cup up. And you're so right in the fact that you choose things that you find fun. So the dancey ones, the cardio ones, things that don't feel like a workout to you because you love them so much. And remember how good they make you feel afterwards, because you've got to look after yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And exercise is the only way to stay young. And like you said, to be jumping
Yeah.
out of an aeroplane. My goodness me, that sounds incredible. So on that note, and moving forwards from here, have you got any specific goals or anything that you're working towards with your health and fitness at the moment?
Well, I have had a little bit of a rocky road with my diabetes, because I found out after 18 months that I was intolerant to the tablets that they were giving me. So I've finally got that settled down, so now I can concentrate a little bit more on getting back into a little bit, because I was struggling, which meant I couldn't work out. It wasn't an excuse, it was just I couldn't do it because of the various situations. But that seems to turn a corner now, so I'm a little bit better. But my aim is, in the next year or two, however long it takes me, is to get to the point where I can come off the tablets and I'm not type 2 diabetes anymore. So that is my ultimate game. And the only way to do that is to make the time for me, and put the effort into to make sure that I do that. And like I say, having the online stuff means I can pick 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15. And if I've got longer, then I can do too. But it's just not making any more excuses. And like I say, putting things in your diary and making sure that it's there for me. I've changed the way that I work over the last year to make sure that I am at home more, not staying away training. It's all right, everybody else learning, but if I'm Mrs. Premier in for two or 3 days and travelling up and down the A1, I don't have time to fit in any kind of workouts, because I'm too tired by the time I get home at 8, 9 o'clock. So cut down on the travelling, and I'm planning my work more, so that this next year I can get more of a regular routine with everything that I'm doing, and it's not as and when I can fit it in. It's every Thursday, Friday, or whatever. But actually, I can do something every day if I wanted to. I can pick and choose and do the various different things and start doing more. I wanted to do more Pilates and yoga, because I think, the body's getting old and achy. So I think the more I kind of keep it stretched and supple, the better it is for me in the long run. Like I said, ultimately, I don't want to be on tablets. I hate the fact that I'm on tablets, but it's a means to an end at the minute. But that's my ultimate game.
That's a big goal, and I'm sure you can definitely do it. You just like you said as well, put in the time in your diary, in your online journal, plan your classes for the week ahead, and just showing up for you. And even if that is a weekend warrior because you've been away with work, it doesn't matter, as long as you're getting that time in during the week to work on you. That's the most important thing. But I think that's a fantastic aim. And we could do another podcast episode this time in a couple of years and I'll hold you to it. You're going to be consistently working out and you won't be on tablets anymore. Oh no, on a serious note though, it's a really, really amazing goal to have. I think you've got to get to that big goal, which you've already said as well. You've got to plan your classes, just show up for yourself, be consistent in your routine, and then you'll get there. Focus on the little steps to get to where you want to go.
So a lot of the things that I was doing that stopped me from doing what I want to do is the fact that I'm intolerant to so much food. But I've found a different way to try and work out what that is. So, as you know, I did struggle a little bit through the summer as well with issues with food. So now I've literally pinpointed the different bits and pieces that do make me poorly. Now I can just leave that away and I can concentrate on the stuff that I can eat that's healthy, that's going to fill me up, um, so that I can put more energy into what I want to do instead of what I have to do. So yeah, let's hope it's sooner than 2 years, but we'll get there. You'll be the first to know. As soon as I get off them tablets, I'll be like ringing you saying I've done it.
Yes. And I'll be a cheerleader in the background, like, yes, I will be so happy. You need to tell me that. But I think
Yeah.
that's really important what you said there, focusing on eating the things that make you feel good, doing the things that make you feel good. That's the aim. That's the aim. And however long it takes, whether it takes a year, half a year, 2 years, however long it takes, as long as you're on that road to progression, that's what we want. This is literally what we want. So, do you have any parting advice for anyone? It can be anything to do with health or fitness. If you could say one thing that would help somebody today listening to this, your top tip, Joe's top tip, what would that be?
I would say it doesn't matter how long you go without doing what you think you should. So I've had 3-4 weeks where I've literally not done any classes, any training. I felt rubbish. My food caused me issues. I've struggled. And you just think, you know what, that was yesterday. Today's another day. The only way I'm going to change it is to change something that I'm doing. We all have times where we think, I can't do this. I thought, got out the habit. Set yourself an alarm, set yourself a target, little baby steps. I'm not doing the 29 in 29, but I'm going to do 14 because I think that's achievable for me at the moment because I'm just getting back into the working out more often. So I've set myself a target of 14 because if I set 29 and I fail, I'll feel really miserable. But if I set 14 and I do more than that, then I'm going to be really happy. So you've got to set yourself a realistic goal. You know, every mountain you climb has little baby steps. So just one little level at a time. Don't just aim for the top because when you look up there, it's too far away.
That's so good. I need to like go and write that down now. That was amazing. Wise words from Joe. You can write a book. No, that's really important. And
Actually,
that
have
is,
a light bulb moment.
oh no, it's really good. It's really good. It's really important too. Because I think there'll be a lot of people in a similar situation. And that's why I said with the levels, you need to look at where you are at the moment, what's realistic for you, and how much time you've got to what you're going to do to challenge you. You can't, yeah, if 29 or whatever your aim is too far away, it's just going to feel unreachable, and that's not what we want. So thank you. Thank you for your words of wisdom, Joe. And thank you so much for sharing your story on Meet the Members too. Really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It was fun.